Good day, class.
Good
Good
day,
day,
sir.
sir.
Good day, sir.
So, kamusta na kayo? So, can you type an emoji in the chat box that represents how you are feeling right now? So, Alessia seems happy. Okay. Uh, Dieter is sad, hoping that everything is fine. Laban lang, Dieter. Continue to be cheerful, Kyla. Yes, laban lang, Rice. And Dominic, yeah, that's okay. Okay lang yan, Dominic. So, before we begin our lesson, let us go over our last meeting's discussion. So, we learned that a triangle is a type of polygon which has three sides and two sides are joined end to end. So, what do we call a point on a polygon where the sides or edges of the object meet where two rays or line segments meet? So, you can raise your hand. Okay, Miss Kayla? Yes, Miss Kayla?
I believe it's vertex, sir.
Yes, very good. So, it seems that you all listened to our discussion. So, in our previous discussion, we learned that there are three angles in a triangle. So, these angles are formed by two sides of the triangle which meets at a common point known as the vertex. So, let us recall what is the sum of all three interior angles in a triangle. So, kindly type it in the chat box. So, what is the sum of all three interior angles in a triangle? So, okay, 130, 180. Okay, okay, 180. So, all of you answered 180. Very good. So, you all listened to the discussion. So, each and every shape in math has same properties which disguise them from each other. Thus, let us recall what are those. Elisha?
A triangle has three sides and three angles, sir.
Okay, that's right. How about Dieter?
The sum of the angles of a triangle is always 180 degrees, and exterior angles of triangles always add up to 360 degrees.
Okay, very good, Dieter. What else? Yes, Rice.
The sum of the lengths of any two sides of a triangle is greater than the length of the third side. Similarly, the difference between the lengths of any two sides of a triangle is less than the length of the third side, sir.
Yes, very good, Rice. And the shortest side is the opposite, always opposite the smallest interior angle. So, please remember that. And similarly, the longest side is always opposite the largest interior angle. So, you appear to be prepared for today's discussion. So, before we go to our discussion, let us have an activity first. What you are going to do is think for an answer of the riddle that I will give to you. You only have about 2 minutes to read the riddle and think of an answer. So you can see the riddle in our um, activities that I have posted. So you can view the riddle. So can you see the riddle now? Anyone can you see the riddle now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so let me read the riddle to you. So you are driving a bus at the first stop, and then two women get on. The second stop, three men get on and one woman gets off. Third stop, three kids and their mom get on. and a man gets off. The bus is gray and it's raining outside. So the question is, what color is the bus driver's hair? So you can comment in the chat box your answer. Okay, black, brown, gray. Okay, you have different answers. White, black. Okay. So before that, the correct answer is. Can anyone share their answer? Yes, Mr. Dieter, can you share your answer?
Uh, Black, sir.
Okay,
Since
black. And
my
why
color of
was
my
it
hair,
black? Yes.
because my color of my hair, sir, is also black.
Okay, very good. So the correct answer is the color of your hair. Since the riddle states that you are the driver of a bus, it means that the riddle referring to each one of you. So the reason why I tried you to think of an answer because analyzing problem is applicable to our topic for today. So what is our topic for today? Our topic for today is all about the six trigonometric ratios. But before that and before anything else, let me present to you our objectives for today's session. So anyone can raise their hand to read the objectives. So anyone who wants to read our objectives for today? Yes, Dieter, can you please read our objectives?
Identify the trigonometric ratios in triangle. Solve the values of the six trigonometric ratios in the triangle with precise and accuracy, and apply the concept the of a triangle's trigonometric ratios in a real world situations.
Okay. Okay, thank you, Dieter. So now, what comes into your mind when you heard the words trigonometric ratios? Yes, Elisha?
I think these are evaluated with respect to sides and angles, sir. Di sa katawa po.
Okay, very good. So in geometry, or specifically in trigonometry, it is a branch of mathematics that deals with the sides and angles of a right-angled triangle. So therefore, trigonometric ratios are evaluated with respect to sides and angles. So in solving trigonometric ratios, so we use the mnemonics, which is the SOHCAHTOA, and the Chu-Shakao, which is sine is equal to opposite over hypotenuse, cosine is equal to adjacent over hypotenuse, tangent is equal to opposite over adjacent, and the cosecant is hypotenuse over opposite. And for the secant is equal to hypotenuse over adjacent. And then lastly, for the cotangent is equal to adjacent over opposite. So take note that opposite side is the perpendicular side and the adjacent side is the base of the right triangle, while the hypotenuse is the longest side of the triangle. So any questions?
None, sir.
Okay, very good. Now in solving problems that involves trigonometric ratios, we use as I said earlier, mnemonics, which is the SOHCAHTOA and the Chu-Shakao. So let us move to the example. So next is unelevated parking is being constructed 2 meters above the level ground. The angle of elevation from the ground to the elevated parking is found to be 12 degrees. Now a ramp is to be used by the cars to go up. The question is, how long should the ramp be? Given the angle and the measure of the opposite side, which among the six trigonometric ratios we need to use? Dominic, can you
So, sir.
again? What is it?
So, sir.
So okay, so that's right. So in this problem, we use the so or sine is equal to opposite over hypotenuse. So in solving this, we substitute the value since we are given with the angle and the opposite side. So we are left with the hypotenuse. We are left with solving the hypotenuse. So in solving the hypotenuse, we multiply both sides by x. So we are left with x sine of 12 degrees is equal to 2. And then divide both sides by sine of 12 degrees. So we are left with x is equal to 2 over sine of 12 degrees. To simplify this, we get the approximation of 9.62 meters. So any questions?
None so far, sir.
Okay. Okay, let us proceed to the next example. Now, a ramp is pulled out of the back of truck. There are 38 degrees angles between the ramp and the pavement. If the distance from the end of the ramp to the back of the truck is 10 feet, how long is the ramp? Given that the angle is 38 degrees and the adjacent is 10 feet, which among the six trigonometric ratios do you think are we needed to use? Okay, Miss Kayla. Okay, very good. So we use the cosine is equal to adjacent over hypotenuse. So in solving this, we are given with the angle and the adjacent side. So just like in solving the sine or the previous problem, we multiply both sides by x, and then we are left with x cosine of 38 degrees is equal to 10, and then divide both sides by cosine of 38 degrees. So we are left with the approximation of 12.69 feet. So any questions?
None, sir.
Okay, very good. So let us proceed to the next example. Now, a tree with a height of 10 meters was pushed slightly down by a strong wind and hits another tree with a distance of 7 meters. Now, what is the current angle of the tree leaning downward? So, what trigonometric ratios we will use in this problem? Okay, Elisha.
I, I, I think it is the cotangent B equals to adjacent over opposite, sir.
Okay, that's very good. That's right, very good. So we use the cotangent is equal to adjacent over opposite. Since we are uh, given with the adjacent side and the opposite side, which is for the adjacent side, it is at 10 meters, and for the opposite is 7 meters. So we need to find the angle of the tree that is leaning downward. So to simplify this, we are left with x, cotangent of x is equal to 10 over 7. And for us to find the value of x, so we use the arc cotangent multiplied by 10 over 7. So to simplify this, it is equal to x is equal to 1 over tangent of 1.43. So using our calculators, we are left with the approximation of 40.06 degrees. So did you understand the lesson? So you can raise your hands if you have any questions or clarification. Yes, Dominic, do you have any question?
Um, uh, about sa kwan sir, sa 1 over tangent times 1.41 sir. Giyon sa siya pagkuha sir.
Yes, that's a very good question. So since we are left with the arcotangent, which is its reciprocal is 1 over tangent, and then we simplify the 10 over 7, so we are left with 1.43. So that's why we have the 1 over tangent times 1.43, and using our calculator, so we are left with the approximation of 40.06 degrees. So did I answer your question?
Yes sir, thank you sir.
Okay. So in summary, our topic for today is about the six trigonometric ratios, so uh which involves the following. Uh so any one of you can tell me at least one of the ratios. Okay, Miss Kyla. Okay. So another one. Yes, Miss Rice.
Cosine B is equal to adjacent over hypotenuse, sir.
Okay. Very good. So another one. Yes, Miss Alicia.
Tangent B is equal to opposite over adjacent, sir.
Okay. So another one. Okay, another one. So is there anyone who wants to? Okay, Miss Kyla.
Sine B equals to opposite over hypotenuse, sir.
Okay. Okay, another one. Okay, it seems that uh lastly we are left with cotangent is equal to adjacent over opposite. So to see if you really understand our topic, so kindly solve this problem. So the problem is a ladder of 16 feet 16 feet long makes an angle of 35 degrees with the ground as it leans against a store. How far up the store does the ladder reach? So you are given with at least 3 minutes to solve the problem. Yes, Miss Kyla. What is your question?
Sir, up to how many decimal places, sir?
You can simplify it at least two decimal places.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Now that time is up. So kindly type your answers in the chat box. So okay, you have different answers. Okay, 9.1. So who would like to volunteer to share how they get their answers with the class? So anyone who wants to volunteer? Yes, Mr. Flores, Dieter.
My answer is approximately 9.18 feet, and I use the saw, which is the sine over hypotenuse, I opposite over hypotenuse. Then the given is 35 degrees and the hypotenuse is 16. So I come up with the equation, which is the x is equals to 16 sine 35 degrees, and I simply input in my calculator, and the outcome is 9.18 feet.
Okay, very good, Dieter. Looks like you really listened to our class discussion. So any questions or clarifications? So do you have any questions?
None, sir.
Okay. So if there are none, before we dismiss our class, I have an announcement. You can read the learning materials that I have uploaded to our Google Classroom. So you can access it through our Google Classroom. And also, I will upload an assignment regarding with our uh, discussion for today, not later than 5 p.m. So you can check it at that time. So, okay, before we leave, can you please open your camera for our documentation for our today's class? Okay, thank you very much, Dieter. Okay, thank you very much, Kyla, Elisha, thank you. Okay, can you smile? 1, 2, 3, smile. Okay, thank you very much. This is the end of for our class discussion. You may now leave. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Okay,
Thank you,
goodbye.
sir.
Bye, sir.
Goodbye.
Goodbye, sir.